Welcome back to RNC Worldwide. What's going on, YouTube? I'd like to welcome you back to another fun and informative video. And if you haven't already, go ahead and take this time to hit that subscribe button. And if you've already subscribed to this channel, go ahead and hit that like button and that notification bell so you know when we're coming with another fun and informative video. In today's video, we're going to switch gears a little bit, and this video is going to be part informative, a little bit on the fun side, but more on the serious side. And when I say on the serious side, I mean, with all the things that's going on in the world today, are you preparing yourself? And what I mean by preparing yourself, I mean from the pandemic, it should have taught us all in the pandemic that we need to be more prepared for anything that could come. And I know a lot of you probably don't follow me on Facebook, but the few of you who do know that since the pandemic, I've been stressing the point of getting your garden ready, preparing your food, staying prepared, stocking up on food, stocking up on things like your toilet paper, not getting caught in that toilet paper jam we all got caught in, and things like that. Getting you a generator, having you a backup power source if we was to lose power. It's all over. It happened here in Texas when we had the ice storm. There were millions of people. I'm not gonna say millions, but there were thousands of people without power, and that could have simply been fixed with the generator. If you had a generator, you could at least stay warm. You wouldn't have been scrambling around trying to find a place to go because you don't have a generator. So we're just gonna touch. That's just a few of the things that you could do to prepare yourself. But the main gist of today's video, you can see behind me here, just a few of my garden beds. I'm doing this video alone, so I'm not able to show you all of my little garden spaces. I have some more garden space along my back fence out here, and another raised bed here to my right. And you probably can see the small raised bed right behind me. And then I have my little 2 kiddie pools back here that I use. And I've been on this garden tip since the pandemic kicked off. When the pandemic kicked off, I got pretty serious into the garden thing, and it's paid dividends. I mean, we got food in the freezer right now from last year's garden, so it can be a pretty lucrative investment if you if you get into it. And having said that, everybody likes to have excuses on why not to have a garden. I don't have time, or I don't have the space, or I don't know how to garden. Well, I was faced with all those when I started my garden. And as far as time, just like anything else in life, you make time for the things that's important. As far as the space, if you live in say you live in an apartment, you can make space. Get you some of these kiddie pools like I got back here behind me, and you can put that on your porch at your apartment. I mean, there's several things you can do if you're limited on space. And as far as time, like I said, time, you just make time for the things that's important. I mean, I work a full-time job, opening up a snow cone stand, and I still created time here today to get out here and do some prep work on my garden and go ahead and get ready, get a jump on this thing. I know my time's gonna be tight, So you just have to take advantage of any time you get to get out there and uh, get your garden prepped and get a jump on this thing. So having said all that, um, it's time, people. You know what I mean? Like I said, here on our channel, we're gonna cover a wide variety of topics. A lot of things fun and a lot of things that's informative too. You know, each one teach one. And like I said, I take my gardening serious. And it doesn't take a whole lot. Your initial setup can be a little bit of an investment. Getting if you don't have good soil on your property, bringing in some soil, getting the right mixture of soil. And I'll go over that in the future with you all in another video to show you some of the things you can buy to create you a fertile soil if you don't have a fertile soil on your property. And if you're into a apartment or something where you don't have the land to plant, you know what I mean? You can put your stuff, like I said, in a kiddie pool, or even if you're at home and you don't have fertile ground, you can make you some raised beds, and then you can put your soil in there. By I like to mix just some regular old topsoil, your bag soil that you can buy at any big box store. Costs about a couple dollars a bag. Excuse me. Yeah, your soil costs about a couple dollars a bag, and then you can take in some peat moss and mix it up and mix it with the soil. And then I like to use this other premium soil that has like a manure mixture called black cow, and I take that and mix that 3 parts equally with the regular topsoil, the peat moss, and the black cow. And then I also mix in a little perlite. And what that perlite does, this is just like in a lot of your potting soil. If you'll notice in your potting soil, it always has those little white dots in your little house plants when you get in there. Well, those little white dots that you see in there, that's perlite. And what that perlite does, it keeps the soil, I don't know what the proper word I'm looking for, but basically it keeps it from clotting so much and lets it breathe. And yeah, that's what this perlite does. Lets it get good drainage and things like that. So basically that's what I use on all my different beds, is that mixture there. The topsoil, the black cow, the perlite, and the peat moss. And I mix those three equally, and then I add in a little perlite to help with the aeration of the soil. But yeah, but having said all that, people, like I said, I'm just not gonna make this video too extended today. But like I said, with all the things going on in the world and food prices going through the roof, everybody needs to start a garden. I don't care how big or how small. And besides that, just being on the more healthy side. I mean, and it gets you a lot more, like I say, a lot more healthier eating. You know where your food's coming from. You know that there's not no pesticides being put on your food. You know that you don't know what type of fertilizers are used on your food when you buy vegetables from the store. You don't know what they put on that food to grow it and keep the bugs out. They'll put anything on there. And when you grow something at home, you know exactly what's been put on it, and you don't have to worry about all the chemicals that they put on stuff to grow it. So that's another good reason. Um, and like I said, it's along with that, when you do grow something, it helps. It's satisfying when you get out and work your garden and your crops start to come up, and you're able to eat from your own land. It's a real satisfying feeling. So that's another reason. I recommend starting your garden. So right there, there's a few There's a few reasons right there. Healthiness of having homegrown food. Um, like I said, the crises that's going on in the world. You know, you want to be prepared as you can. What if you can't get food one day? You walk into the grocery store and the food ain't able to get there. Then what are you gonna do? Do you know how to grow something? And you know, and having said that, do you know how to grow? And that's another thing with this. Like I said, I've only been doing garden since the pandemic started, and it's a learning process. Do I know everything about gardening? No, I don't know everything about gardening. Do everything that I plant come up? No, it doesn't come up. Some things do good, some things don't. Some sometimes you'll plant something and it'll do good this year. Sometimes next year it don't. So it's just a learning and a filling out process. But all in all, you know, since I started this, I have a pretty good yield on on my garden as a whole. But like I say, nothing is surefire. I'm not that good at it yet. I'm still learning, but uh, I'm able to, you know, eat off of my garden pretty good. It keeps me and my family, it keeps us some steady vegetables coming in. And sometimes, I mean, the crop gets so good that I end up giving it having to give some away. It produces so much. I give some to the neighbors. I give some to take some into work and give it away. Um, to family and friends, I've given stuff away. So, you know, and that's rewarding in itself, being able share share what you grow with others. So, you know, so all in all, what I'm trying to tell everybody is go ahead and, you know, go ahead and give it a try. Get out there and everybody's got time. Everybody has some downtime that you can get out and get you a crop, get your crop started. Like I say, you never know what this world is gonna bring, and you can't prepare for everything, but you can be prepared. You can prepare to a certain extent. Everybody can prepare some. Like I said, nobody can prepare for everything. You'll never be prepared for everything because you never know what life's gonna throw at you. But you can control some things that's within your means. I guess this bird back here want to talk more than I do in the video. Y'all hear him back here going crazy? I can barely hear myself talk. But yeah. But back to the video. So what I'm gonna do today is just go over, like I said, go over a few things with you that I use when I'm out in the garden, and that's worked for me. Like I said, I've already mentioned the perlite to you, but I got a couple more items here that I'm gonna show you. And you know, I like to when I plant, I like to use my bone meal when I'm planting my seeds. I like to put a little bone meal down, and you know, as a natural fertilizer. I don't use fertilizers in my garden. I don't use you won't see me out here putting no Miracle Grow in my garden. Nothing like that. I'm strictly organic. Yeah, if you want to use fertilizers and Miracle Grow and weed and pesticide killers to keep the bugs down, that's totally fine. That's up to you. But uh, I'm all natural. I'm all organic. And the only fertilizer that I do use is a fish fertilizer. It's called the chemical makeup is 511. But if you can buy it at your big box stores, you can buy it online. It's it comes in a gallon jug, and that's the only fertilizer I use. Other than, like I say, I use my bone meal when I plant, and I give it a little touch of my blood meal when I plant. And those are the only two things I use when I initially put my seeds in the ground. And then as my plants start to grow, I use the 511 fertilizer I told you about, the fish fertilizer. And it's a liquid, and it's basically what it is. It's just like uh, pond water, the skimming off of a pond. So it has you know, it's basically pond water, basically what I call it. But I use that, and like I say, I don't use that until My plants are starting to come up, and they're starting to fruit a little bit. And then I hit them with that 511, and they just go ahead and produce like crazy. And I'll show you as we progress in other videos how that works. So, like I said, when you put your seeds in the ground, hit it with a little bone meal, hit it with a little blood meal. You can put I usually put like, I don't know, probably a tablespoon of each in each hole with my seeds. And I go ahead and drop my seeds, cover them up, and water them, and I go from there. Also, once I got my plants in my garden, and I got them in the garden, and they're already, when they're starting to grow, they've broken through the dirt and everything, and they're starting to grow. My fertilizer that I do use is coffee grounds. Yeah, you heard me correctly, coffee grounds. Your regular coffee grounds that you get out the house when you make your coffee in the morning. You just keep the leftover coffee grounds, and you sprinkle a little bit of that around the base of your plants. I use a lot of coffee grounds, and I use a lot of eggshells. I keep all my eggshells, and I just crush my eggshells up as fine as I can get them, and I put that into my soil also. And that's my two main fertilizers. And then I keep any any type of fruit peels, like your lemon peels, your orange peels, apple peels, anything like that that can break down pretty fast and won't cause any smells around your garden. I use that, and I found that the citric peels, like your lemon and your orange peels, they tend to help keep the pest away a little bit. So that's what I use. I don't, like I said, I don't spray any chemicals on my garden. Um, it's just like an old school told me. A lot of people they don't like to see any bugs in their garden, but like an old school told me, that's giving nature they cut. Nature got to get they cut. So a bug or two around the garden, it ain't gonna hurt nothing. Now if they get to eat me out of house and home, then we'll have to do something. Like I did one time, I did have to treat my strawberries because I was getting a wonderful yield on my strawberries. I mean, my strawberries was better than what you could get in the grocery store. I mean, I had big strawberries. They was doing fine. Every plant was loaded with strawberries. And then I was coming out and I was noticing little bite marks on my strawberries. And I thought the squirrels was eating my strawberries. And come to find out, it was roly-polies. I had an infestation of roly-polies in my strawberries. Because if you, I don't, you can, I can't turn the camera around, but I'll show you in another video. Uh, I got a Windsor wall on the back part of my yard. So right there where the Windsor wall meets in the dirt, it keeps where the dirt meets the Windsor wall, it keeps a little moisture barrier right there. And those roly polies tend to make a home in there, and then they were getting into my strawberries, and they was eating my strawberries. So I did have to use because it got out of hand. I wasn't getting every strawberry I had out there was having bite marks on it, and so what I did, I didn't use no uh, harsh pesticide. What I did use was that diatomaceous earth. So if you do run into a pest problem like that and it's getting out of control, that would be what I would recommend using, would be diatomaceous earth, because it's not a harsh chemical. Basically what it is just ground up seashells, and it works real good, and it also works on your yard if you have a problem with like ticks and fleas and stuff in your yard. You can treat your yard with that diatomaceous earth, and it works wonders. But I use that strawberries, and it worked out good. But that's the only pesticide that uh, I'll use, and that's pretty much all natural. Cause like I said, it's my garden is pretty much organic. It's there's no chemicals, no pesticides, nothing like that goes in my garden. I want to if I'm gonna eat from the earth, I want to eat clean. I don't want to risk spraying stuff on my garden to get rid of bugs, and that's no different than going to the store and buying something and you putting chemicals all on it. So like I say, you can do real good. You can do real good in your garden without worrying about seeing a bug or two. Don't let that. Don't worry about that if you're just seeing a bug or two here and there. You see a little leaf's been bit on. Don't go crazy and start spraying stuff all over your garden, because you kind of defeat the purpose of eating clean if you got chemicals sprayed on everything. So yeah, I know I got a little bit off base there with the pesticide. I said I was going to talk to you about the things that a few things I have here that I'm putting in, but that's basically it. Um, that's basically all I do when I plant is add those the bone meal, the blood meal, and then I plant it in the ground. And then like I said, I fertilize with the coffee grounds and the eggshells, and that's pretty much it. Keep it watered. You water about twice a day, and then when you get into the real heat, of the season, then you might even go 3 times if you have to, if but I think 2 would be good for most places. You get you a good water early in the morning, and then give you a good water late in the evening, at sundown, and that's pretty much all you have to do, and then let God do the rest. But so I'm not gonna keep you. Uh, I'm not gonna keep you too much longer with this video. But like I said, if you haven't already, go ahead and get you something in the ground, people. You'll never regret it. You know what I mean? And if you plant something and you don't get much the first year, don't give up. Give it another try. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's a learning process. Uh, nobody's a farmer overnight. Everything is trial and error. Because you might have something, I might have something that grows good here, and at my house, and you might plant it at your house and it don't do as well where you live, and vice versa. You might plant something that does real well where you live, and I might plant it here and it might not do nothing. So like for instance, as far as the trial and error, like my first year I planted watermelons, and I got I had 35-pound watermelons, almost 40-pound watermelons, and last year I didn't get one. Uh, the first year I planted onions, I didn't get any. Last year I got some. My first year I planted squash. I had a bumper crop of squash. Last year I had just a little bit. So like I say, it's just hit and miss until you learn the science of this thing. But until you get there, just stay with it, because everybody needs to have something in the ground. Like I said, the grocery store ain't getting no cheaper. You got crisis going on in the world. You never know what kind of crisis we're gonna be in next, and you don't want to be caught with your pants down. So if you know better, you should grow better. That's for all of us. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this video short. I'm gonna get into my little bag here. My little bag. This has got a lot of my seeds in it, and I'm gonna go through this thing, and after I get off this video and get me a few seeds in the ground. This is the last warm day we're gonna have here for the next few days to a week. I really hadn't checked the forecast, but I know it's supposed to turn. I know it's supposed to turn cold tomorrow. So I'm gonna get in here and plant a few things. And that's one other thing that I want to tell you before I get out of here too. Uh, find out, when you're gonna when you're gonna start your garden, because I know I got people on here from all over, all over the from different places. But what you need to find out, one of the main things you need to find out is when you start your garden, is where's your grow zone. Each section of the United States has a different grow zone. And what you want to do is go and find out your grow zone. And what that relates to is what things you can plant in your area at what times of the year. If you can look on the back of your, you can look on the back of your seed package, and it'll tell you, most of your seed packages. I don't know if you can see this, but if you look there at the bottom of your seed package, you'll see it's got different colors. It's got different colors across the United States. And what that represents is different grow zones. And for the different grow zones, you can plant things at different times of year. Because some things you can plant twice a year and get two different crops off of it. Because some plants will withstand the cold more than others, and some require more heat than others. Like a lot of your leafy green stuff, like your greens and stuff like that, they can't handle the extreme heat when it gets into, down here in Texas, when it gets into July and August. Your greens and stuff can't handle a lot of direct heat. Whereas something like your okra, when you get into July and August, that's when your okra just takes off. Your okra loves a lot of heat. Like your watermelons love a lot of heat. So, like it being March right now, see, I wouldn't want to plant a watermelon just yet here in Texas. I probably would wait till late April, maybe, and go ahead and plant my watermelons late April. Uh, like I was saying, the okra, I would probably even wait until, you could wait in probably even until May to plant your okra, because your okra likes a lot of heat. So things like that, that'll help you grow better. So know your grow zone, and like I said, you can find a little bit of that information out on the back of your seed package, or you can just simply Google what's your grow zone for where you live, and that's some good information to have when getting into your gardening. But yeah, that's just a little few of the things I wanted to get into, and if you're not ready to go ahead and get something in the ground, and you already have your garden, it's a good time to take advantage of these days and get out there and get your dirt worked, and get started weeding out your garden and get your dirt tilled and get ready to plant. But yeah, other than that, like I say, I'm gonna conclude this video. I ain't gonna keep you too long. I know I was a little bit all over the place, but I was just trying to get out a little bit of information to you, and and stress the importance of starting a garden and how important it is. And like I said, it ain't just about the food, it's about the health. You know what I mean? It's about, eating more healthy, and when you get out there and you work your land, and you get out there every day, you'll see how good it is for your mental health also. You know what I mean? It's very relaxing to when you put the time into it, and you see it start to develop. You'll see how much you'll be amazed at how that helps your mental when you get out in your garden. It's a real good thing for your mental health. So like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and conclude this video so I can go ahead and get a few things in the ground. I gotta get my son to karate here in a little bit. I think I probably have less than an hour, so yeah, I'm gonna wrap this thing up, and we'll see you again in the next video from RNC Worldwide. And once again, subscribe. Don't just watch the videos, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you know when we're coming out with more new, fun, and informative videos. Because we're going to be putting out a lot of good content here in the near future. And we're going to be touching a lot of different bases. You know, like I said, we're going to get real deep into this gardening thing as we progress into this warmer weather. And we got a lot of more new and exciting content that we're going to be putting out. I'm going to do some I'm going to be doing some set down interviews with a lot of small business owners, and you know, I've been getting a lot of good feedback uh, from our snow cone business, and yeah, I've been getting a lot of good feedback from my snow cone business as you know, as far as inspiring others to, you know, kick off something for themselves and start their own business. And so what I'm going to do is do a lot of I ain't gonna say do a lot of just yet, but I will in the future progressing. There will be a lot in the totality of things, but we're gonna start off with a few of our some small business owners and do some interviews with them, and you know, and maybe we can inspire other people to, you know, do something, and they'll explain to you what what drove them to start their business and what's allowed them to be successful. Because I know a lot of people. Uh, that's what inspired me. I know I have a lot of people around me that own their own business, and that's what you know, being around and seeing other people with their successes. It really inspired me to start my own business, and hopefully someday I'll be as successful at it as a lot of these people that I speak of. But yeah, so look forward to that. Look forward to these new videos that we're going to be putting out with some of these small business owners, and some of the ventures they're into, and it might inspire you to go down that road, or you know, go down your own road. But you know, I think too many of us get too comfortable working for somebody else. Not saying that that's a bad thing, you know, each to his own, but I don't think that I just personally don't think that everybody was born to work for somebody else. You know, I've always said I've never liked working for somebody else. I do it because that's what I have to do to eat, and I'll continue to do it until you know, until my situation improves. But I've never personally liked it. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie to you and say I've never liked waking up going to work, but I did it since I was, even before I was an adult. I did it, and into my adulthood I continue to do it. But you know, that's a whole nother video. I ain't gonna get into that too deep. But yeah, go ahead and, like I said, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and get out there in that garden and get something started. You know, time is of the essence. You know, you never know what tomorrow is gonna bring, but you can be prepared as much as you can by getting a little jump start on things. Start your garden, get your generator, uh, stock up on your food. Everybody should be stocking up on toilet paper. They already did it to you once. I don't, a smart person wouldn't let them pull the same trick on you twice. So I hope you at least stocked up on toilet paper. So if they do get us on if they do pull another trick on you, it won't be the same one twice, and you fall for the same one twice. But you know, just little things like that. Get prepared as you can. And a little generator. And let me say this: a little generator is not that expensive. You're talking a couple $100. for something that you could plug in and run a little portable heater at your house. So when you're thinking a generator, you know, I know a lot of people hadn't even researched generators, but you can find you a generator for a couple $100, and you could get you one for about $500 that'll, you know, pretty much run a lot of the items in your house. You know what I mean? Of course, if you're in a crisis situation, you don't want to try to power up your whole damn house. You just want to power up the essential things. But, you know, they have those items available that don't cost you an arm and a leg. You know, most people, you know, most uninformed people think when you say generator, they probably thinking thousands of dollars. And that's not the case. You can buy you a generator for as little as a couple $100, you know, on up into the thousands, depending on what you want. But for something for just household use, I would say from around $200-300 to the $500 range, and that'll keep you out of a bind. So yeah, just a few things to think about. Um, like I say, stock up on your dry goods if you haven't already. Stock up on you some rice. Stock up on you some beans. You say, well, I don't eat beans like that. I don't eat rice like that. Well, if you get in the bind and you can't get no food and you don't have a generator and electricity goes off, you want something that can store for a long time. And there's a lot of foods that can store for a long time, but rice and beans is one of the main ones that come to my mind. You can put them and they don't require a lot of maintenance. You can throw them in a 5-gallon bucket with a lid on it, and you know they'll hold for some years. And the only thing you need to put with it is some water, and there you go. You got a meal, keep you alive. So yeah, so like I said, that's gonna be it for this video, folks. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I could go on and on about the survival thing, but I hope this has inspired somebody to get out and get your garden started. And like I said, um, you'll be amazed with how fulfilling it is when you get out there and work your land. So if you hadn't already started, next warm day, I want you out there breaking ground and getting your garden off the ground. All right, RNC Worldwide. Peace. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell.